Manchester United is hosting Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow at Old Trafford, having drawn 0-0 with Newcastle in that game over the weekend. And obviously, United returned back to Old Trafford as they play their game for a side which goes with Chelsea on Sunday. Quite a busy schedule of fixtures, and I believe lots of things are really going to go ahead and really change this game of football. But obviously, here onto the United Matters channel, we are here to bring you all what this game of football is all about. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, doubts Ronaldo and Martial is out. Then there is a player who goes by the names of Harry Maguire and Danny Van Beek. The manager is telling us that this week they're joining the United team in training. I believe that's really going to be some good news for Manchester United, because I believe with Danny Van Beek returning, maybe Bruno might really lift up his level of play, because I believe he's really not doing the right job a central attack midfielder should be doing. And I believe in Danny Van Beek there is a better player who can play that role better than Bruno Fernandes, and maybe this string of games really coming into a line, and I believe he might really get in some games and minutes to play. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, and obviously tell us where you're watching in from in here onto the United Matters channel. Now today, we know that United is having 16 points, meaning that out of 9 games we are having 16. Out of the possible 27 points, we are having 16, and we are placed 5th onto the Premier League table. Not so? I think that's it. So, being 5th is not really a very bad position, but not getting a win against Newcastle really, to me, I really felt bad, because it was a win written all over. And I believe something that is really roaming in the head of Eriksen is the name Ronaldo and Martial, and people underestimate this guy, and that's why you see them really putting up a battle with Ronaldo. And if I told you come out and really battle Ronaldo and Martial with Ronaldo, then you are really unfair, because Ronaldo is a GOAT, but just have to admit that the GOAT that is really in its decline, it's not really at that level that used really to scare people, and he can no longer really impact a game, according to me, because in that game of Newcastle, I believe he would have really done a lot to see to it that really got people, that really got United the most important goal they really required, but he couldn't. And secondly, I'm looking at people and say United is not creating a lot, guys. The same United, and I think this side is really more improved than the other side he played with, where he scored 24 goals a season. Do you remember? He scored 24 goals a season last season in a Ramshackle United, and I believe this one is really more suiting to him, and it's like a joint team, and they're really playing together. When he scores against Everton, people say he's back. When he doesn't really score against Newcastle, and the same people come out and really say and put excuses for this guy. And I've seen people that you wouldn't have taken off Ronaldo. Why? The guy played 90 minutes in the game of a team which goes by the names of Omoni at Old Trafford. He played 61 minutes in the game of Everton. You get? And I think it was planned that in the 70th minute, Ronaldo was going to be taken off, and obviously was taken off. And people say that you can't really gate a man like him off the field of play. But how sure are you that when you really keep him in the field of play, when he gets a chance, he's going to utilize it? Because we've seen him in the recent games when he's really getting those chances, and he's not barring them, especially the game of Ammonia that we played on Thursday. Again, you saw it. So I believe those are lame excuses. The fact is, Ronaldo needs to find his scoring boot again, and if at all he finds it again, I believe the manager will really try to trust him with the injuries of Ronaldo and Martial. But again, that big blow of Ronaldo and Martial, because he's really a very, very, very huge player that would have done a lot of difference in this game of football. But remember, the last time Spurs played at Old Trafford, it was Ronaldo that really scored a hat-trick against them. And is he going to go again and redo that? I doubt, but he can really rise up on the occasion against Spurs to score goals, provided how the team is really going to go ahead and really integrate with him into this game of football of a team which goes by the names of Manchester United against Spurs. Let's go to the predicted lineup, because most of you are here really waiting for this to happen in here onto this channel. And obviously the system that Ten Hag is going to go for, it's a 4-2-3-1. You know that very well. And that there's no doubt about it. It's confirmed. That's what Ten Hag is really going to go on for. We go in goal. David De Gea, a man who's really improving on his ball distribution, and I believe there is a good player in him, and he's really doing a very good job. He made 500 appearances for Manchester United. That is the game of Newcastle, and positively he got a clean sheet, but obviously United failed to go ahead and really do the needful and really get the most important goal of the game. And obviously he is really returning to go on and really play into this game of football. Then Diego Dallo, a very good player, and obviously has played every game that United has played this season, including David De Gea and Lisandro Martinez. Not so, they've played every game United has played this season. So I expect him to come out and be starting the game of Spurs, and he's going to be facing a man who goes on a Son Heung-min, but I'm not worried about him because he has really closed in people like Diaz, Martinelli. So I believe Son Heung-min, at his 31 years of age, I think he has slowed down in pace, and obviously his activity is more so onto the area of the 18 yards box area, not in the wide areas of the pitch. Then Luke Shaw, expect him to start. He was taken off the game of Newcastle, and Malacia came in through. I think he played some minutes, and they are preparing for this game because this game is really a must-win for a side which goes by Manchester United. And Spurs is really one of those teams that we need to come here and really show that we are a class above the ordinary. Why? When you look at the Premier League table, United is placed 5th with 16 points and Spurs are 23 points, meaning that they are 7 points ahead of Manchester United. How do you really get them to the level where you want them to be? You should beat them at Old Trafford and be at 19 points, meaning that we will be how many points? 4 points behind Spurs. So I believe it has already gotten worse in between us and Arsenal. You get Arsenal is 11 points clear ahead of us, and I believe if at all we win this game of Spurs, we'll go ahead and really be close to 8 points behind a team which goes by the names of Arsenal, and obviously that is something we are calling for. So I believe Malacia will be rested, and maybe he could come in and really start the game of a team which goes by the names of Spurs. But don't be surprised when the manager brings in a man who goes by the names of Malacia to start against Spurs, as he really goes ahead to really give him some minutes, as he has really taken along without starting after having played that game of Omonia at Old Trafford. Maybe the manager will go in for Malacia to start in this game of football. Then Lisandro Martinez, obviously, he's that kind of player that has really played very well to the left side, into the left side of the central defense. And guess what? He's really going to partner a man who goes by the names of Rafael Varane into that central defense partnership of United, because these two are really a Rolls Royce. And obviously you saw them against Newcastle, no goal conceded, and we looked firm into that back four, and that is the main reason as to why we are really winning lots of games this season and not really conceding very many goals after that 4-1 loss to a side which goes by the names of Brentford at the Brentford Community Stadium in London. So that is the back four of United, and that's how I expect the back four to start. Now, as Scott McTominay returns, but Eriksen is really 100%. If at all Eriksen really makes it, but to the pitch, obviously is going to go ahead and really start the game. The manager told us that Eriksen is really one of those fit players that is doing great, and let's wait and see whether tomorrow is going to be available. But obviously, I believe he's going to pick us. Is going to be Eriksen and the man who goes by the name of Casemiro in the double midfield pivot of United, as we face a side which goes by names of Newcastle. And I believe it's really going to be a very huge game in the midfield area. But I believe Casemiro can go ahead and really consolidate a man who goes by the names of Bentancur and Hojbjerg, because they don't play with a central attack midfielder. You get? They just play with an extra attacking midfielder. So I believe it's going to be easy for Casemiro to really protect the back four and obviously control that midfield, as you saw him against the game of Newcastle. And by the way, most of you gave Casemiro your man of the match. Not so, even the game of Omonia, he looked like he's the main man of the match. That is Casemiro. Then Bruno Fernandes, a man that I really believe that he's really costing us these games, because I believe he has to be doing better, especially as far as creating chances for a team of United is concerned, and really trying to really get us to the levels they're supposed to be. But right now, the guy is really costing us, according to me. And that's why I believe that the return of Danny Van Beek in training, I think, on Thursday and Friday, obviously is really going to be good news for Manchester United, especially Erik ten Hag, because he has now gotten to know that maybe Bruno has really played lots of games, because he's one of those people that have played at least every single game of United that played this season, and he needs a rest. And in so doing, you have to come in and really bring in Donny van Beek. And when Donny comes on the field of play and he plays that position of Bruno, I think Erik ten Hag will know, obviously, that, oh, I've been really messing up lots of things. It's supposed to be Donny van Beek. Because I believe with the way Bruno is playing, we need to bench him. He's known that Bruno really came in at Old Trafford way back and scoring in goals. Because by the time, stats were really shadowing what a central attacking midfielder was supposed to be doing for United. Now, in this side of Erik ten Hag, it's a different side altogether. The calm needs to go on and we do the needful into this game of football, but I believe he will get and step up his game when Donny van Beek comes in through, when the competition is really tense for him. Anthony, obviously, is going to start onto the right, attacking center midfield. In that game of Newcastle, he never thrived, but one thing I really liked about him is that he started taking on players, and we saw that his pace is really trying to go on and really improve, and we saw him costing a player of Newcastle a yellow card, and very many others sitting them down. But my worry with Anthony is every time he plays with Ronaldo ahead of him, or Ronaldo leading the line, this guy, instead of really going for solo effort, sometimes he goes in for imperfect crosses because he's looking in for Ronaldo. And I believe this should change. This should change because there are times when you kill off the game of football. And have you known that every time Anthony has really gone ahead to score a goal for Manchester United this season in the Premier League, Ronaldo has not been on the field of play? Against Arsenal, he was not on the field of play. Everton, he was on the field of play. And Man City, Ronaldo was not on the field of play. So it shows you that maybe Anthony really respects Ronaldo a lot, that he just wants to find him that ball most times when he's on the field of play. But I believe he should be doing better for going for solo efforts, because that's what is really going to go ahead and really be impactful to a side which goes by the names of Manchester United, and that is Anthony. On the left, attacking side of the midfield, it's not that Sancho never played well. He played very well, but I believe that Rashford is really going to go ahead and really start on the left attacking side of the midfield. Remember, in the game of Newcastle, he never really started because he was really, the weather never favored him to start onto that game of Newcastle, and he came off the bench. And he really had some threats, like 2 chances to go ahead and really bury, but we couldn't bury them after creating one for Freddie, and Freddie couldn't find his touch into the empty net of Newcastle. But all in all, Rashford is going to start tomorrow, and obviously it's really going to be one of those games that we should really thrash or really beat, a side which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. 2 games at Old Trafford, getting 2 points won't be something for me to be laughing about. That's it. I believe we should be really getting better and really getting more out of this game. It's supposed to be a win, as it really takes us to the level of leveling games with a team like Arsenal. You know that very well. Arsenal has 10 games, and that means we'll be 8 points behind them, and a team which goes by the names of City. City is going to play, and obviously they're really going to be some more points ahead of us. Ronaldo leading the line, obviously he's the only striker we are really having, but you never know what the manager's game plan is going to be. Maybe Rashford will lead the line for starters, and Sancho starts on the left attacking center midfield. Then Ronaldo will come on later, having played very many minutes. But let's wait and see what the manager is really going to go ahead and really do, because after taking him on the field of play in that game of Newcastle, you saw him how he really fumed. But I asked myself, why was he fuming? Because I believe the manager told him that you're going to play such and such number of minutes. But obviously, Ronaldo should be fuming, because for him, he's really a player who really wants to win, and is obsessed with winning and obsessed with scoring goals. But as things stand, for a side which goes by the names of Manchester United in this game of football, it's a different case altogether, because Ronaldo isn't being created a lot of chances. But even those chances that he used to score that were half chances, he no longer scores them. That's my worry. That's my worry about Ronaldo. But let's wait and see what the manager is going to go ahead and really flaunt to come on and really play at a side which goes by the names of Old Trafford. So Spurs is coming at Old Trafford. They're not having Richarlison. Kulusevski is a doubt. And obviously those are the 2 important attack players that Spurs is really missing out on. And I believe we can lay them off. We can lay them off in a different style altogether. Our backline is going to hold us to the level we want them to be, and they're going to give us the best that we deserve in this game of football. So guys, I don't know what you think about that predicted lineup. I've told you who is out, who is in, and Tell me what you think about this game of football. But this time around, I believe we can win 2-0. 2-0. 2-0 at Old Trafford as we beat a side which goes by names of Spurs. Obviously, they are coming hard and rough because you know what they do. They play a counter-attacking system of play, and obviously, they look like they are really one of the most threatening teams up front with Son Heung-min and Kane. But they come at Old Trafford when they're really lame after having lots of players out like Richarlison, Kulusevski. Maybe he can come in through, but I believe he's really a very good player. But I think we can really silence him in this game of play. So thank you guys for watching in. Your reactions are welcome to the match preview of Manchester United versus Spurs at Old Trafford. Who do you think is winning? Who do you think should start? Who do you think shouldn't start? And obviously, we have to come here and really talk bad about the VAR that really officiated the game of United as we took on a side which goes by the names of Newcastle, because I believe there were 2 penalty calls for United, and that of Jadon Sancho was the most vivid of all, and I've not seen VAR coming out and really apologizing because they really did something bad and they really costed us that game. I believe that was a penalty of Sancho, and Casemiro was also really pushed down in the tennis box area, and I believe something was wrong with VAR over the weekend because there are very many calls that were made by VAR especially that were uncalled for that really made it look very bad. Even that goal that Salah scored against Liverpool, when you look another angle, sorry about that, when you view it from a different angle, Salah really had a touch on his hand. You get? As the ball controlled, I think from the chest, it hit his hand, and obviously they really gave that goal. But obviously we can't go on and really change or reverse the recent results that will happen in the game of football. And obviously Ten Hag does come out and say that we don't have to really decide or blame a referee for the actions that he has really taken on the field of play, but we have to really come out and really ask, you get, why certain things really happen in the field of play. And obviously he is really talking to the referee who really went ahead to go ahead and really be in charge of the game of Manchester United versus Newcastle. Thank you guys for watching in. I sign out for now. See you later. I hand you over to the Almighty Lord, protect you abundantly. And obviously, United Matters channel is a YouTube channel. And obviously, it's United versus Tottenham Hotspur match preview. Into the comment section below, tell me your predictions and who do you think should start and who do you think shouldn't start. Almighty Lord, protect my people and viewers of this channel. But remember, we want to hit 9,000 subscribers, and I think we're left with how many? 400 subscribers, guys. Let's really jet down and see to it that we really hit 9,000 subscribers. I'm out.